I'm glad to present you Tristan here today with us. This is OnlyMonster going live on YouTube. I'm glad to. Okay, let me just to present. Okay, there we go. The sound is good now, I guess.
Okay.
Tristan, I'm so glad that you're here with us. This is a big pleasure for me, and
Same.
I would say that having a person who has such a big business talking and saying things from personal experience, this is always very interesting. And
Yeah.
I'm excited to ask a little bit more question, like go deeper into what you do, what you actually know. And I know you have a lot of experience, so I'm kind of like jumping from one thing to another. What I'm about to ask you, first of all, to begin with, glad to have you here. Welcome, Tristan. This is the big agency owner. He runs around 50 creators, AI models, and I'm quite excited to have this conversation. Welcome, Tristan.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. I really, really love it. And any question that I can answer, give tips on my experience, I will. I think you're going to introduce me, but I've been doing this every single day for the past 4 years. So anything
Wow.
that I can share, feel free to ask in the comments.
Awesome, awesome. That is very nice. Tristan, I know you run a big business, but those who see you for the first time, I would like to ask you to tell them a little bit more about what you do, and then we can go forward to your journey, how it all started, and where you ended up where you are right now. But what do you do right now?
So right now I do many things in my agency, Modelify. We manage real creator. And we also manage AI creator. Okay. And we also manage AI creator for agencies, mostly the account management and the chatting. So there's like three sides to my agency, and I'm trying to make the most out of what worked the best in this business for me.
Totally, totally. So it's basically the chatting agency,
Yeah.
around 50 creators that you
Yeah.
run, both real creators and AI creators. And
Exactly.
okay, let's dive a little bit deeper into how this all started. Like how did you first get into this chatting agency space?
Yeah, so basically, I did business school, and I was with guys that launched their own like physical business, online business, and it got me into dropshipping. So I sold like dog accessories. Okay, but like selling physical product is very hard for those who tried. It is very hard. Okay, and I was making more money from selling ebooks than from selling physical dog accessories. And I was like, okay, I need to go and try to sell virtual product because the margin are insane. You have no shipping, nothing. It's a way better business. I tried many business such as like marketing agencies, building websites, and managing like gaming influencers. Okay, and one of the business that I tried was OnlyFans management. I just stumbled on a YouTube video from a guy that was explaining how to launch your agency in like 2 weeks. I tried and it worked from the first model. It was a French stripper. And basically, the first day we managed to sell a striptease, like a 3-minute striptease, for 300 euros,
Hmm.
which is
Okay.
insane. And when that happened, I was like, okay, this is the best business that I ever worked with, and I want to work in this business. Basically, that's how it happened.
Nice, nice. And then you started with like one, two models and then moved slowly to 50. What changed at each stage? Like how was this journey?
Yeah. So basically, I had a model. I was doing the chatting, the French chatting, and I had another model from like a third world country that I was managing, and I was doing the chatting myself, but I wanted to free my time. So I hired the chatter, and the chatter had not enough messages to work with. Okay, he was getting bored. He had not he didn't have enough work. So I sent a message. That was like 4 years ago. I sent a message in like a OnlyFans management group on Telegram saying, "Hey, I have a chatter that don't have enough work. Any guys want to like share my chatter? I will rent it for you." And I got like 8 message the same day, and I
Wow.
was like, "Okay, there's an opportunity, there is demand. Okay, I have the offer, I have the chatter, and I said to everyone, yeah, of course I'm free, and I quickly hired chatter, okay, so that I can rent them basically to agencies, and that's how I started my chatting agency while still managing creator.
Nice. That is so nice. So you basically work with other agencies and do chatting for them. And how many, take any numbers, just to get an idea, how many team members do you have? How many creators? And approximately maybe how many agencies do you work with?
Yeah, right now I have 120 employees, which is
Okay.
a lot. And those
Yeah.
employees are spread between chatters, VAs, and managers. That's how I structure my agency.
Right.
In terms of clients, I have about a bit more than 50, so around 60 creator account that I manage. Okay.
Okay.
At the moment, half of them are real model on OnlyFan, and half of the model they are on FanView, which are fully AI models. Okay,
Hmm.
that's how it's structured in my agencies, and I have some model that I manage myself with partner, and the
Hmm.
rest of the model are just like a client that I don't need a chatting for on the US on the English market.
And speaking of these differences between working with AI model with a real creator, in which cases you'd say that AI models are better, and in which like real human are 100% necessary?
That's a really good question. So first, when you start with an AI model, okay, unless you had IG account from previous model, you start from scratch.
Uh-huh.
You start from the from nothing. Okay,
Yeah.
when you work with real model, most of the time they already have an IG account, they have a little something, okay, or maybe they have already like 200 content created. When you start with an AI model, you start with zero content, zero socials, etc. If you are just getting started and you want to work with an OnlyFans model, most of the time you're going to work with beginner models because
Hmm.
you're a beginner, you're going to attract only beginners model. Okay. So if you have no experience, I would recommend everyone to start with an AI model
Hmm.
because you can get an AI model, just like look on YouTube. You will like train yourself, and you can create an okay-ish AI model. Okay, but if you're brand new and you try to recruit and sign a model, it will take you way more than a week.
Hmm.
So
Okay, so
that's the differences between, like, for a beginner, I would say.
it's in your opinion even more reasonable to get an AI model instead of a real model first in order to get some experience and learn how it all works before jumping into like operating with real humans who most probably are going to be also beginners and they need to learn as well.
Yeah, exactly. So you can basically like get the proof of concept that what you are doing is basically working, and you will have like real proof. Okay, if you're able to manage an AI curator and do everything, you can then obviously manage a real model.
Okay, but once you become a little bit bigger, once you're not a beginner anymore, would you rather focus on only those creators who already have big social media, or you would also at some point cooperate with those who don't really have a lot of subscribers, followers, but they have experience and good looking?
It's a really good question, which I don't have like a clear answer because I do both. Okay.
Okay,
The AI business is a good business. It's a new business and it's growing very fast, but we never know if it can stop at any time. Okay.
right.
So if you're just starting, I would focus on AI models since it's the simplest and you can really start the business because with OnlyFans models, you unless you get a creator sign, you didn't even start the actual business.
Yeah.
And when you're a beginner, you're not trying to chase money, you're going trying to chase experience as fast as possible, you know. Once you're experienced like me, you have like money to invest, you have employees, you have guys that have actual skills, then there
Mhm.
is no problem. You can split your agency in half, have a department for the AI model, have a department for the real model. But if you're just starting, pick one, either AI or normal model. That's what.
Okay, interesting. And speaking of hiring new people, signing contracts with creators, it is important to show some proof, as far as I heard from you, that you already know something and that you do good, that you have something to show. And speaking of AI models, we don't necessarily need that, right? To like some kind of validation proof. And you can start easier.
Yeah,
That's what I hear from you.
yeah.
And I would rather agree. This sounds reasonable to me. And if someone just starts or already has an agency and wants to expand and also work with AI creators, maybe you have some kind of set of tools that you recommend for that.
I didn't understand. For people that have a real model and want to launch AI model?
Yeah, or they just start and want to start with AI models, or they already have some real creators and also wants to take this advantage of running some AI models. Which set of tools would you recommend for them in order to create those AI models, in order to run those
Oh,
AI?
yeah, like what type of software?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Mostly right now, the best one, I was on it this morning, so this is very fresh. I would say Seart.
Mhm.
Seart is one of the best software out there. It's kind of like a CRM for AI software. So basically, you have all the software that are basically at the same place on this Seart. Okay. And you have like a pre-made template so that you can create any images, any videos at the lowest cost. So if you guys watch this video and you want to start an AI model, don't go with like Comfy UI, the LoRa, the complicated stuff. Just use Seart, okay? And Dream to create your images and videos, or Kling. Kling is mostly to do videos. You can aim for images as low as 3 cents per image, okay? And videos as low as 30 cents.
Okay. Okay. Very nice. So don't start with something complicated. Run it with something that you can easily use today, basically. Great.
Yeah.
I was about to ask like which tools, like AI tools, are absolutely essential
Yeah.
for you at this stage. Now that you are not a beginner, that you already have experience, what do you do? What do you use on a daily basis in terms of AI tools?
AI tools to create content.
Well, I believe there is a lot of different segments that needs to be done, like create a personality, operate these contents, like
Oh,
rearrange, right?
yeah, yeah. So in terms of content, what you can use the other tools, because the tools that I mentioned are for me the best tool out
Mm,
there because they are constantly, updated. And for
mhm,
example, there is a new update for Nano Banana. It will be available on this software. Okay, so
mhm.
that's the best one. And on the side, you can use ChatGPT, which is very, very, very good. Okay, to create like a prompt,
Mhm.
which is describing what image you want the AI to create. Okay,
Mhm.
you can also do like reverse prompt. So you update an image and you ask GPT to give you the prompt to create this image. So if you want to
Wow.
reproduce an image, it's very simple and it takes 5 seconds. And by the way, ChatGPT, it's completely free. Okay. And the second one is Gemini. This is I mean, it's Google, so obviously it's going to be well advanced. You can use Gemini. There is a Nano Banana on Gemini, so you can actually type a prompt, okay, or upload an image from a girl, upload an image from your girl, and say, okay, do this position from this girl, and it will do it for you. And once
Mhm.
again, when you're starting, you just want a few images. It's free solution.
Interesting.
So it's
What
free.
an unexpected thought that you can actually ask the LLM to give you the prompt that it would interpret the way you need.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it's the lazy way to do it, and once again, it's free, and everything free is good, you know.
But if we talk about a little bit more profound building of this AI model, how would you make sure that your AI creator actually feels like it has a personality, that it follows this? This is not like a generic robot or something.
You mean what? In what, like her like appearance, or how you brand her, basically? Oh, how you
Well,
brand her?
this is actually the question. If you have an AI model, is that specifically for the content, like pictures, videos, or that is also somehow interconnected with building a personality?
So basically, the personality, you don't have to use AI. You can just create a girl from scratch. Okay.
Uh-huh.
For example, she's a 19-year-old girl that was like a cheerleader in a high school and that now is getting launched into like a OFM or basically pursuing her like a adult career, for example.
Hmm.
And since she's a cheerleader, she likes to wear skirts, she likes to work out, etc. You just build a personality and stick to it, and you don't need AI for that, and just keep a simple story basically.
Okay, okay, very nice. I believe this is quite useful for those who just start their journey in terms of creating an agency. And
Yeah.
for those beginners, if someone starts an agency like today, right,
Yeah.
which do you think are the processes that in the first place they need to systemize?
I would say content creation first. They need to know how to create the AI content. Okay. And how to post and get views on social media. That first, AI content creation. Second, how to post and how to get views. How do you get views? I'm going to give you a very like a golden tip. Okay, do not try to come up with viral content idea. You're just going to take viral content idea on social media. How do you do it? You just scroll on IG, like girl profile, and the content on IG, for example, that will be in your feed. Okay, it's content that are pushed by the algorithm. So it's a winning content. It's a viral content already.
Okay,
You don't have to think about it. And then you can just copy this content. Okay. You can upload this content to ChatGPT or describe what is happening. Okay. There's like tons of tutorials. I even have a YouTube channel and I even like give this content like for free. And you can
okay.
copy this video and then boom, you have a viral video, but now with your model. Okay. Then
Hmm.
you post on social media. So that's basically what you need to automate first. And for chatting, you can do it yourself or you can straight up automate it, like delegate it to an agency, like mine, by the way. Or,
Yeah, yeah. This is actually great. And by the end of it, I would also ask you to share a little bit info on how people can get in touch with you if they want to work with you, for
yeah,
sure. And we will be leaving the links in the
yeah,
description, of course.
perfect.
And by the way, this is a good moment to remind everyone that we actually accept likes, accept subscriptions. So feel free to hit like and subscribe and make sure you ask a question because this is actually live. This is going to be a recording at some point. But right now, you are very welcome to ask all the questions in the chat of this live stream because I also have my eyes on it. And I'll be glad to read your question to Tristan. Great. And speaking of processes and stages that need to be systemized, you gave a good advice on how someone can actually see what's already viral,
Mhm.
create some content using simple tools, and post it. But speaking of marketing, when we post content, I would also like to ask about yourself. Where do your clients mainly come from, and
Mhm.
what's working best for you right now?
So it depends what type of client you're referring to, like chatting clients or like the subscribers on the platforms.
Well, right. Good point. You are the chatting agency in the first place, so your clients are other agencies, right? But
Yeah.
I'm talking more about the fans, the
Mhm.
geo, maybe the segmentation on social media platforms.
Yeah.
Do you also involve in those traffic acquisition processes, or are you mostly focused on chatting?
I also do the acquisition traffic.
Okay,
I specialize more in chatting because I've been doing this every single day for the past like 4 years. Okay.
nice.
And I have an associate that manage more the marketing part, but he manage more about the actual implementation of the marketing on the model. Okay.
Hmm.
But I already like have the ideas and know how to do it, and even if I don't do it directly, I have to get like still keep being updated of what's going on. Okay,
Hmm.
on marketing. So yeah, to answer your question, I would say like most of the traffic that I do come from IG.
Hmm.
We do Thread as well,
Hmm.
and the last one would be X and then Facebook.
Those work well for you still nowadays.
Yeah, this is what worked the best for me, and this is what works the best for all my chatting clients, because any chatting client that work with me, I share everything that I do for my own model, since we always work on like a commission split, so it's more of a partnership, you know.
Yeah, totally, totally. Would you say that your chatting somehow differs from other chatting services, other chatting agencies, providers? Maybe you do something that makes you stand out. Like, what's the chatting advice that you as an expert can give? What works?
I would say like a really like a bit dumb advice, but basically everything that, like what makes your chatting good are just your chatters. Okay. And
Uh-huh.
you can try to train or come up with ideas, etc. Okay. Either your chatter are good or they are bad. Okay,
Okay.
from the get-go. All my chatter, they have experience, like minimum 2 to 3 years of experience. Okay,
Hmm.
if you take a brand new chatter and you try to get this brand new chatter that have no idea, no experience, and try to train him, it's not going to work compared to a good chatter that has 3 years of experience. And I
Okay.
would say that it's the same as a normal business. You always like the companies always go from for a guy that have experience like a studies, a diploma, or like 5 years experience in a company doing the same
Yeah.
job. Okay, so that would be the most like the best advice, because the chatting strategies are very simple. You portray the model, you try to like get to know them, sell content as if they were made live, okay, while chatting with the guy. Okay, that's what we try to do. And upsell content, start small and increase the price little bit by little bit.
Okay.
That's the whole strategy.
So we're talking mostly about hiring senior specialists instead of juniors in terms of, especially when you just start and you really need to start good, because that's like the crucial point.
Exactly, because if you try to like what you're going to train a chatter for 3 months and he can leave you at any time. Okay, even the chatter that I hire, I mean, they are all experienced already, and we still train them every day,
Hmm.
obviously. But
Okay.
if you can choose, you're always going to go for an experienced one
Right.
first, and it will save people so much time.
Maybe some advice on criteria on what you feel like defines a good chatter from not a good one.
So basically, they need to understand their job and they need to understand sales. So
Right.
any chatter that try to get into my agency, they need to have experience, they need to have good English, a good internet connection, to be available, etc. But especially they need to understand sales. And we have a training module about sales. That's the first one. We don't even talk about OnlyFans or chatting or whatever. We talk about the basics of sales,
Hmm.
understanding your customer, why they are here, what do they want, what to do in terms of sales objection. Okay, what do you do in business if
Yeah.
someone do not want to buy what you are selling to them? Okay,
Yeah.
we see how they react to that, etc. So the number one thing is, are they good at sales?
Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. And then you also keep improving their knowledge, their experience, the expertise, right? By giving them more and more.
Yeah. First mistake is recruiting chatter that have no experience or that are and that are
Okay.
bad. Okay. You most of the time you need to do like 30 interviews to get one good chatter. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the reality of it. And the second biggest mistake is to think that once you hire a chatter and put him on a model is the last thing you need to do. No, you then need to manage them and try to improve their work every single day.
Yeah. And you, I assume, monitor that. You review what, how they perform. You analyze both numbers, the style, right?
Yeah. My job every day is to make sure that we make as much money as possible. Okay,
Yeah.
on the account, that's how we work, and how we make sure that we make enough sales. Okay, we have criterias. Basically, the manager has certain tasks to do. Okay, certain points that they need to analyze. That the chatter are doing every single day. So, for example, answer time, it needs to be always below 3 minutes. Okay, so if you're talking to a girl like holding your thing, you know, like what you're going to get called if you get an answer like 3 minutes later. Okay,
Yeah.
then we have Follow-ups. When you send a message, they don't answer. Are you doing follow-ups, like another message to,
Yeah.
like say, hey, what are you doing? Okay. Then we do also the new sub, trying to make sure that they actually ask the question about the new subscriber to get to know
Mhm.
them, type it in the notes.
Yeah.
Because if you don't type in the notes, 2 weeks later, you're not going to say, oh, by the way, what's your name and where you're
Right.
from? It's done, it's not possible. Okay. And it's different chatter. I mean, it's the
Mhm.
same team of chatter, but one day it's a guy, and another day it's another guy. So we need to store those information.
Yeah.
And the last point I would say, script, like following the script and doing the upsells. I
Mhm.
just gave you like 3-4 points, but these needs to be checked by the
Yeah.
manager every single day.
Right, right. I totally agree. And when it comes to information about a fan and how you use this information to build your communication with a fan, that's quite important. And well, having a tool that actually allows you to both type notes and actually having an AI that can bring you a psychological portrait based on your
Yeah.
conversation, that's like something useful, I believe. And of course, monitoring the performance. It's quite useful when you have everything in one place, all the conversations that you can monitor, messages from your chatters, and
Yeah.
see how they perform.
Yeah, you definitely want to have like, I mean, maybe if you have one model, a small model, it depends. Okay. But as long as you have traffic and you make money, I recommend everyone to have a CRM like on their profile, because without a CRM, those platforms, they just do not have enough, to be honest.
Totally, totally agree. Let me ask you one thing that we see in the chat. The
Mhm.
question says, "What do you think about VR market? Is it the future of OF?"
Um, the maybe long-term future, but not right now, because if you see how many people have a VR headset at home, there's not that much. It's very very niche down. So I would say yes, but like later. There is platform that also work on like a hologram, of girl. Like when you buy content, you buy the hologram, but this will come in maybe I say like 5 years, not
Okay,
before. Not yeah, not before, basically.
we
Not,
can
not now.
focus on what works today in the meantime, right? And this is actually great that you share these insights. I personally heard around 8 points that are quite useful for those who already have a running agency or those who start an agency. And, well, for those who just evaluate whether it's worth it, whether it's risky. You mentioned the fact that chatters sometimes quit, right? That's one of the risks. Even if you dedicate a lot of time to that, if you
Yeah.
train them, what are the other risks that agency can undertake? And you run an agency. What's the what's the list of things that you might be want to careful about?
So yeah, the thing is that the chatter, they have access to the most important part of your business, which is your customers. They are your clients, okay? And they could like completely destroy an account if they want to send like fake content or like phone number or this type of stuff in basically 10 seconds. So when you work with like chatting agencies, or if you are a model looking at this video and you give your account to agencies, you need to make sure to do your due diligence. Okay. And it's the same when you hire your chatter, because they will access your account while you're asleep.
Yeah,
So, and you want to obviously get good ones, because this is what is going to make all the sales. It's basically you
right.
have a business, the sales team that you hire, you want them to be as good as possible.
Totally, totally. So hire good professionals, make sure they are good at both sales and have no intention of doing harm to you, and of course use tools that protect you,
Yeah.
that limit and restrict your team from doing what they don't really need to have access to. Great,
Exactly.
great, excellent. This is actually quite nice. I mean, you give useful insights to people who start, who already have a business. Maybe you could share something on a side note, so to say, when you feel like the job is done, 11 months in a row you were doing business, one final month of the year you want to relax. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do after a long day or maybe a long year of work? What's your kind of like relaxing?
Yeah. To be honest, I like workout. because I
Okay.
try to always like get better at things, you know, and working out is very good because the more you do it, the better you get good at it. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, I would say like working out, or really if I have time, maybe a bit of gaming here and there, you know. But
Yeah.
when you already spend 8 to 10 hours on the computer, then you don't really want to do more more of that. But yeah, other than when I stay home, I would say like travel, you know,
Nice.
because you
Nice.
can meet
Travel.
entrepreneur, do very good deals. So if you have the money and the time, travel. And most of the time, it costs way less than what you think it's going to cost. You know.
You meet new entrepreneurs as expanding your networking and finding new people to work with potentially. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about what you plan to build in the future alone or with some partner you met during some travels. What's your vision on the like future? We are
Yeah.
approaching 2026.
I think the future of OFM is definitely AI, and the future is kind of here already. That
Yeah.
last year, I didn't really work with AI model. I started like in January or February of last year, and in like almost like less than 2 years, I make the same money with AI model that I make with the normal OFM model. So if
Wow.
that happened in my agency after less than 2 years, imagine what's going to happen in the next 2 years or 5 years. For me, almost all this business is going really fast towards AI model. And why? It's very simple. You do not have to hire, like recruit a real model. You do not have to pay any model. You don't have the risk that the model leave you or scam you money. You get instant access to like hundreds of content for almost nothing. And we are going on the right path, you know. The software getting better and cheaper. The how do you say, the platforms, or there is more and more platforms that are more like AI friendly. So yeah, I would say AI OFM is the best way to make money in the future. And if you want to be good in the future, the best time to start is now.
Yes, I totally agree. And this is the future that is not only approaching, but is actually here.
Yep.
Tristan, if someone wants to work with you, if it's another entrepreneur or maybe a creator or maybe a very experienced chatter, how they can get in touch with you and do some business together with you?
Yeah, the best thing to do is to go to my website or go to my Instagram or Telegram and reach out to me. It's very easy, and I will answer to everyone. It depends if you are a model, you want like management, or an agency, you want chatting or whatever. I do basically everything. Since I like, to be honest, I like to do OnlyFans management. I like to do AI OnlyFans management. So anything you need, if it's chatting, if it's like consulting or even management, you can DM me.
Nice, nice, great. And you genuinely enjoy the process. And I believe this is what actually matters a lot.
Yeah,
Excellent.
exactly.
If someone wants to work with Tristan, this is a great opportunity. If someone has yet to try OnlyMonster and is building an agency, needs a CRM, I'm here. You may also get in touch with me. We will be leaving all the contact details in the description below. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this live stream, this conversation full of insights from a person that actually has a very big running business and has 4 years at least of experience in different businesses as well. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this. If you are interested in having more live streams like this in the future, hit like, subscribe, and the bell so it reminds you. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you're doing good this evening. And thank you very much, Tristan, that you had a time to share all these insights with us. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for receiving me, and thanks for the invite, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a good one, guys.